So another 2 points last week against Swinton. How good a performance was it for you?
Yeah, we're happy we got a response. I thought we let ourselves down against Bradford, in certain areas as the 36 points conceded suggests. So, we're really happy that, we got a good result against a hard opposition, but we still feel like, we need to sort of discipline out. We're under no illusions that, that's going to bite us if we carry on doing it. So we're happy, but we're hungry to keep on improving, yeah.
Is the discipline something you feel is an easy fix? Because obviously there were quite a few penalties for a patch last week. Yeah,
it's an easy fix as in, we're in control of it, so we can go after it. There's certain things that you can't control, whether that's, a referee or anything, and that's just nature of the sport, isn't it? But a lot of them are warranted penalties, through our own application, and whether that's footwork going into contact or someone laying on a second too long or them unforced errors. So they're things that we'll be trying to fix up and go after in training. But we've got a good group. They're hungry to improve, and we'll be doing our best to make sure we put it into practice come Sunday.
You mentioned defence. That try conceded so late in the game, it was nearly your third clean sheet in I think 7 games. Have you got over that yet?
Yeah. It was just a individual lapse in concentration, and young Ward is still learning the game too, so we'll let him off on that one. And he knew it straight away. There's certain things when you're breaking down and analysing the game, you have to go into the technicalities of it, and look at why things have broken down and how you can fix it up, whether that's a system error or an education thing. Straight away, Wardy just said, I've just been caught ball watching a bit, so he'll learn a good lesson from that, and all being well, we won't see that happen again.
There's obviously changes in your side at the moment because of various injuries, but do you feel you're seeing a deeper understanding coming between some of your players?
Yeah, it's at that stage of the year where you do want to get them connections built and that understanding, as you've said it there, within each other. But it's just nature of sport. Every team's going to get injuries, right from top at league to bottom. It's who deals with them injuries best and doesn't use it as an excuse. Obviously, certain injuries are going to impact you more than others. By that I mean your spine. Whether you've got full faith in your squad or not, if you're having to constantly change your 1, 6, 7, 9s and that, it affects your tempo. So I'm really happy how our lads are adapting to that, and we just got to make sure that we don't get complacent and we understand it's the hard work that we're doing out on that training field that's giving us them performances on a Sunday.
Let's look at your spine. The half-backs last week, Atta Hingano and Sam Cook. How did you feel that they combined? Yeah, well, they played together in under-20s rugby in at New Zealand Warriors, I believe. So they know each other and how they play. So it were a natural, a natural replacement for us. We had to be back for Cookie to drop back there. Young Potter's still learning his craft, and it's going to be important we look after him and pick what games we play him in instead of just throwing him in there. Because there's nobody else, so we've got full faith that he'll carry on developing. But when you get a player like Sam Cook who can control the game how he does, I thought his kicking game were outstanding again. He's obviously a very experienced player, and I think he complements Atta well. So Liam Harris is a big blow for us losing your captain, but it's not bad when you can call on a player such as Sam Cook to fill in that combo for you, is it? Still thinking about your spine at fullback, you've got Nick Williams. Long term, obviously, Will Dagger out injured, but long term, where do you see him in your squad?
I don't know, if I'm honest with you, because I've really liked what he's done at centre. And it's fair to say that we've been struggling for centre positions. Holyfield's been putting his hand up and doing a job there. We've got young Joe Law that's come in, because it shows you that we need some depth in that position. So I really like what Nico offers. He's a competitor. He's got a lovely set of hands on him, as you'd expect through being a pivot. And I think his biggest strength is wherever you play him, he'll give it everything he's got. So I've really liked him at centre as well. But he's doing a really good job at fullback for us. Hopefully we'll get Dags back soon, and that'll free Nico. As long as touchwood we get no more injuries to go back into that centre role, all being well.
When it came to put him at fullback,
What were your thoughts with that? Because obviously Joe Brown's covered there, you've got Alex Donaghy on loan at Newcastle at the moment as well.
Yeah, well, I've not really... Alex doesn't come down training with us, so he were out of the equation, and I don't mean that in a dig, it's just I didn't know too much about him. He stays up in Newcastle. So it was more a case, Brownie's been doing an absolutely fantastic job on the wing. I think he's in a really rich vein of form at the moment. Didn't really want to change that. Nick Howe were an obvious choice, being a half as such, or predominantly a half, that we could put him back there and keep that attacking impetus that we want through his 1, 6 and 7. And I don't mean that in a nasty way to Brownie, but Brownie's strength's more finishing that attacking impetus instead of being the attacking impetus. So that was mainly thinking behind that one.
So team-wise, Atahingano came off before the end of the game last week. Was that just precautionary?
Yeah, just precautionary. He was carrying a couple of niggles still. We'd kind of fast-tracked him back after a previous bump, so we just brought him off as precaution. But he trained as normal last night, and as long as he gets through this week's training okay, he should be fine come Sunday.
And how's everyone else looking?
Yeah, just your usual at this stage of the year. We've got a few bumps and bruises, but everyone's knows the importance of the games. Well, every game that's coming up, and people want to be involved. So it's a good atmosphere at the moment. We're just going to make sure, as I say, we don't get complacent and we carry on chasing them things that's going to improve us. And
Halifax, your opponents, they seem a funny one this year.
Yeah, I know Finney well too. I've coached many a year with Finney. At his time at Wakefield together, we used to coach academy, and I know exactly how smart he is was as a player, and now he's as a coach. So on paper, they've got an excellent squad, haven't they? If you're reading the squad on paper, you'd definitely think, oh, they're going to be in the mix, and I think they're starting to show that now. They've got a very good win against Batley. We're expecting a very tough game. They've got some quality players in there, led down the field by Keys, who's a quality halfback, especially at this level. So. Yeah, listen, we're expecting a very dangerous Halifax team, and we're going to have to be at his best to get what we want out of the game as well.
And with the progress you want from your side, what is it you're looking for this week?
Well, 2 points. It's as simple as that, just same as Halifax. It's a real pivotal game for both teams. So yeah, we'll be doing everything we can to get that performance. Just as Halifax are a desperate team for it as well. So they'll be doing everything they can to get themselves in that mix for the playoffs. As they'll be aiming to get in as well.
And news this week with Joe Brown, who we've mentioned signing a new 2-year deal. How good is it to get a player like that sorted out? Yeah,
Brown is a player I've admired for a good 5 years. First class buys on him at Wigan. He was playing fullback, as you've just alluded to there, at Wigan, but he's a player I've admired from afar for many a year. So to actually coach him, it's just reaffirmed what I thought. Good player, but more importantly, just a real good person. So I'm really pleased he's committed to this new contract, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
And is it a busy time of year in that sense of trying to get players tied down?
Yes, but it's also it's been great too that I can focus on the coaching side of it. There's obviously Clint and the team behind the scenes that I can have them conversations with them and not have to worry about all that sort of stuff that comes with it. So I can focus on the most important thing for me, which is coaching and making sure that we're as best prepared as we can for whatever game it is we're playing on the weekend.
And I think you mentioned a minute or two ago as well about a centre that you brought in. Yeah,
young Joe Law from Wakefield. So, really appreciative of Wakefield allowing us to have Joe until the end of the year. I think he's, if there's one position Wakefield are blessed in at the moment, it's centre. So really happy that they've allowed him to come, and I think he'll fit into our squad well. With Levi being out for the year. It's really important that we get some cover there, especially if anything did happen to Jimmy or Nick Howe or young Fielder that's covering there too. So he's a player, in my opinion, that will go on and play top level rugby over time, and I hope we can help develop him at York, and I know he'll add a lot of value to the squad.
And is he available for Halifax?
Yeah, he should be in training with us from tomorrow. So yeah, he'll be in the mix for Halifax for sure, and yeah, looking forward to working with him again.
Just reflecting on Sunday's victory over Swinton, there seems to be a lot of fluidity right now throughout your side. What do you think sort of been the key behind that?
A lot of hard work on the training field. You know, Paul Cook's been a massive influence in his attacking style, and all the lads have been buying into it. We've been putting a lot of reps in on that training field, making sure that, you know, there's no stone left unturned in how we want to play and different scenarios and options. So yeah, it's not rocket science, it's just hard work and reps on the training field, and then making sure that we're brave enough and we have that belief in each other to do it on a Sunday.
And how pleased were you with your side's ability to sort of respond from that defeat to Bradford Bulls the weekend prior?
Yeah, really proud of it. I mean, the best part of it for me is that we're still, you know, we did a review of it on Tuesday, and everyone was still, you know, hungry for more, thinking that we could even, you know, we could improve even more. So it's pleasing. You know, it's really important that we keep on driving a certain standard home, and you know, no one wants to be average. You know, everyone. Well, in my opinion, everyone should be striving to be the best. So we want to improve, and we want to be in them playoffs. And we know that we're not going to get in them playoffs if we don't sort of discipline out. So this week we want to build on what we've done. You know, in that Swinton game, but at the same time chase them wins that we feel we can get through sorting our own ill discipline out.
The whole Daily Mail have been reporting that Charlie Severs' shoulder injury is potentially career-ending. Sorry.
Right.
What do you sort of know about that, or what have you been told about it?
Nothing. It's the first I've heard of it, if I'm honest with you. I mean, I feel for any young kid that's getting told news like that. But I know Charlie's obviously played some games here, and you know, definitely everyone at York City Knights will be wishing him, or York Knights should I say, will be wishing him all the best, and hope that, you know, he comes back from it, and you know, he can carry on playing rugby, because he's got a bright future ahead of him.
And continuing with some team news, Bailey Antrobus, how close is he to coming to a return?
Yeah, he's in full training now. He's in full training, so it's important. You know, Bailey's long enough in the tooth, he knows when he's ready himself. So really excited to get him back. He looks like Charles Bronson at the moment with that skinhead and that moustache. So he's chomping at the bit to get back, and yeah, really looking forward to having him back available for selection. But you know, I don't want to put a time frame on it. I just want to give him some time to train and get a feel for his body again, make sure he's confident in his body, and when the time's right, we'll make sure he gets a run out.
You've had Ronan Michael back available to you now. He's impressed in his 2 games. How happy have you been with him, and how he's sort of adapted to coming back from injury? Yeah,
Ronan's a player with a lot of potential. You know, definitely him and Fitzy, similar sort of ages, and both of them, if they really commit to it and carry on developing, they've got a chance to make that step up and play top level rugby. So yeah, Ronan's been a pleasure to coach. He's a very coachable young man, really popular member of the squad. So yeah, been enjoying coaching him, and a lot of development in him, and that's the exciting part of it.
Halifax on Sunday, what do you make of them?
Yeah, as I've just said there, I think they're a very dangerous team. They've got some quality players in the ranks. I've coached a few of them, and I've played, seen a lot of them play in different environments, and they've got some quality there. It's fair to say it probably didn't click for them at the start of the year, and it's starting to click in patches now for them. So they'll be looking at this game on Sunday and thinking it's a chance for them to get themselves straight back into that mix. And you know, we've got to make sure that we're aware of what threats they're going to bring, but at the same time make sure that we're focusing on ourselves and what we can bring to the table.
If my research is correct, and I hope it is, I believe Friday is the deadline for transfers in the Championship this season. Are you hoping to conclude any business before that deadline?
No, we got Joe in. You know, we're in a pretty. It is what it is. You know, we've had a chat about certain things. We don't just want to get players in for the sake of getting players in. You know, it's important that we stick to the plan and that long-term growth. So if someone does come available that we feel is going to add long-term value to York, then you know, I'm sure Clint will have that conversation. But you know, if we go into the end of season with getting some players back fit that are currently out injured, and you know the current squad we've got, I'd be more than happy with that.
And with the addition of Joe Law as well, what are you sort of hoping he brings to your night squad?
Joe is a young up-and-coming centre. You know, he's a very coachable young man. He's a good athlete. He's got some great lines, and he's solid defensively. So I think he'll add a lot of value to our team. He gives us that extra dimension in terms of he's an out-and-out centre. So it lets us, you know, move a few other parts around back into their natural positions, and it also gives us that bit of security that if we do lose a centre, we've got another centre in the squad, and we're not putting two people out of position to cover what is a specialist position.
And have you worked with him in the past, judging the fact he's come from?
Yeah, I coached Joe since he was 14, or I first recruited Joe at 14 from through the scholarship and into the academy. Give him a Super League debut last year against Leeds. So I know Joe well. As I say, Wakefield's blessed with some good young centres at the moment, especially with what they've currently got and then what they're bringing in next year. So really happy and grateful to Wakefield for allowing us to have Joe, and hopefully it'll be a mutual beneficial relationship for both, that we can get some quality game time out of him, and also we can get some development into him, which is going to bear fruits for Joe and hopefully Wakefield longer down the line.
And the last one from me, with that past relationship with Joe then, do you think that will help him with settling in at the nights, because obviously he's got you to lean on if he ever needs anything? Yeah,
I wouldn't. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have brought him in if I didn't think he'd be a good fit for our group, and one thing that's really surprised me, and I'm happy with at York, is just how tight this group is, and they'll make him feel welcome. He's a pretty easy guy to get on with, so I've got no issues there that whether he's going to fit in or not. And we're just going to make sure that we throw him into the mix. It's he'll have to earn his shirt like everyone else, and we'll go from there.